I started my career in April 2004, so I knew the time of the airline commissions. You know, at that time I believe that the role of account manager was completely different and was, to be honest, a little bit much more easier, because at that time we just have to make sure that the travel agent provided a good service and in a timely manner, and let's say that was it, because we only have offline bookings, so through the travel agency and the travel agent. And the other part of the job was to come back to the travel manager and to by the end of the year to come with an envelope, let's say, more or less thick, with the airline commission to be returned to the travel manager. So that was definitely completely different. But then we moved to also, I believe that the biggest change was the disappearing of the paper ticket and the arrival of the electronic ticket, because it opens the way to the online booking tools, but also to the internet booking. So at that time the travel sector became much more complex, and we moved to implementation manager to project manager instead of only the relationship, and we had to convince our travelers and also our management that there is still an added value to go through a travel management company. And this is a daily work, because and if we explain this to our travelers, they understand, but you know, they can book let's say the same air ticket and the same fare on the internet, so they do not always understand why we need to go through a travel management company. And it's important to explain them all the added value, for example, the safety and security, the reporting, the access to our corporate rates. So I believe that these are the major changes. I believe that the current reality has a very big impact on the way to manage a travel program. So of course the terrorist attacks, but also the natural disaster, much and more frequent, unfortunately. And so I believe that the safety and security became the #1 priority of many companies, even before the cost. Being able to locate our travelers and to bring them assistance in any situation is really important. And for example, at IBA, the QRS department is working on it, and I am part of the task force, and we try to bring more safety and to make sure that our travelers are always in safety place. And this is also an added value of working with a travel agency, because we have access to some reporting, and we can in a few clicks locate our travelers and bring them assistance if needed. We are currently in a very big change, because we have new providers coming on the market, like for example the sharing economy companies. We also have a lot of startups coming with a lot of applications, but I believe that as travel manager we need to be very cautious with all these applications. We need to evaluate and to build a case to really see if this is a real added value. And you know, sometimes there is a lot of application coming on the market, but a few months later they withdraw. So that's a very big change, and it will continue for the next years. I also believe that the fragmentation of the airfare structure has a very big impact, because today the airfare, this is much more an addition of different services, so paid services. Another point, and it is also linked, is the new distribution channel. So a lot of suppliers, airlines, but also in the hotel industry, try to avoid the traditional GDS fees, and so they they propose new way to book, but this is very split. So we have, I believe that the travel management company really need to invest in some aggregators to reconsolidate the offer. So I believe that they have a very added value, and they have to focus on that. I hope, and maybe it's utopian, but I'm not sure, that we will have the perfect tool, the perfect online booking tool. You know, a tool that would only need 3 informations. So I have a meeting at that place, so, and when I say this is the final destination, so let's say in this room, I need to arrive on that day at that time. and I need to leave on that day and that time, and that's it. You just click on a button and the tool does the rest. But it means that the tools will book in compliance with our guidelines or policies, and also will take into account the traveler needs and specificities. And I'm very positive for the future, because I do not believe that it would mean that it would be the end of the travel agency. Definitely not. Because all the work will be behind the scenes, and we will be always do settings to make sure that our program is followed. I believe that our suppliers will be also very happy, because if we have a preferred partner at this location, we will make sure that the people book directly the right product. So I'm quite optimistic for the future.